real estate investing, guys, played a real key role in me building a seven-figure net worth and getting to financial freedom. I did one simple thing with real estate. I bought single-family homes in desirable locations, and I just put tenants in those homes, and I duplicated that process every 2 years and built quite a nice size real estate portfolio. Now that real estate portfolio did two things for me. It gave me instant cash flow, and over time, I was able to accumulate capital appreciation on those properties. And in my opinion, those two things right there are the most important pieces of building a successful real estate investing portfolio. Let's talk a little bit about cash flow. Cash flow is simply this. You take your gross rental income, you minus your gross expenses, and what's left over is profit / cash flow. Gross rents. How do you figure out what your rental rate is when you're brand new and you're just starting out and you're thinking about buying a real estate property? There's some free online resources out there for you guys to help you with that. One of them is rentometer.com. You can go to rentometer.com, put in the property address, and it will tell you within a 3 to 5 mile radius what the high rental rate is, the average rental rate, and then the low rental rate. And that will give you a good indication of what you could potentially get in rental income from that particular property. You also got online resources like Zillow, Trula, Redfin. All of those online platforms will assist you in figuring out if a particular property would be a good, profitable rental property for you. So you don't have to pay anybody to do that. Just go online and start doing some basic research. But once you find out what your rental rate is, then at that point, you want to perform a cash flow analysis. And a cash flow analysis is simply taking that gross rental income, taking those gross expenses, and then determining what type of cash flow or profit you're going to be able to make on that property. Now, once you determine that, you gotta just say to yourself, is this worth it? You know, if I buy a property for $500,000 and I gotta put 20% down, that means I got $100,000 of my money in this deal. Then I'm gonna go out and get $400,000 from the bank. That's 5 to 1 leverage, right? So I got $100,000 of my money in the deal. Is the cash flow sufficient enough to give me the type of return I want on my $100,000? And that's called cash on cash return, guys. And when I was heavily into buying investment real estate, I wanted a minimum of a 10% cash on cash return. So if I got $100,000 in the deal, I needed at least cash flow or profit of $10,000 a year, because that would give me my 10% return on my 100K. That's cash on cash return. But that's simply what you have to do prior to buying that property. You have to determine what level of profitability you're going to get by putting your money into this property. And you need to do that cash flow analysis. Once again, rental income minus expenses gives you profit or cash flow. Now, some of your expenses you're going to have associated with that rental property are going to be things like property taxes, property insurance, repair and maintenance. And if you went out and used 5 to 1 leverage to buy this property, you're going to have mortgage expense as well. So you got to throw that in in your expense category as well. And typically, when you're looking at a property, and it could be different for different parts of the country, but here in Florida where I live at, I normally use as a projected expense, I use about 30% of the gross rental income. But that does not include my mortgage expense. I got to throw that in as well. So that's that cash flow analysis you got to do. And again, guys, you can go online and find free cash flow analysis templates out there. And all you got to do is plug and play, and it will help you determine if this property is going to give you the type of cash on cash return you're looking for. So that's the number one thing. You got to determine what the cash flow is, which will help you with your cash on cash return. Number two, capital appreciation. You guys have often heard me say the number one thing you got to look for when you're investing in real estate is location. So what I used to do is I would go through the area where I live, and I would find locations that were desirable, where people really wanted to live, whether they had good schools, whether it was close proximity to, industries or jobs, whether it was because they had beautiful parks, whatever people's reason for wanting to live somewhere, I would go out and find those locations in my local area here in Southwest Florida. And when I found those locations, I would go into those communities and I would find a modest home in that community. I wouldn't go in and look for the Taj Mahal, the Mac Daddy house. I would go find the most modest house I could find with only cosmetic things that needed to be done to it. I would not mess with anything that had structural things that needed to be done to it, because this was not my expertise. I didn't want to deal with that. So I would only deal with homes that had cosmetic things that need to be done to them. Things like new landscaping, or maybe the house needs to be repainted, or maybe you need to go in and put new flooring in. Those types of things are cosmetic. Structural things are like, I got to put a new roof on, or I got foundation issues, and the side of the house is cracking. I didn't want to deal with those types of things. Not that you don't want to deal with them. I just didn't want to deal with them. So I would find these modest houses, and I would buy them slightly below market, right? If market was, $500,000 for a completely finished, ready to go house, then I would look to find something under market. Maybe I could find me something in that 425 range because it needed a little bit of TLC to it. And then I would buy those properties. I would put that little TLC in, put me a tenant in, and then all of a sudden, the property's worth $500,000. I brought it up to market. Why? Because of the improvements I did. So I just gained about $75,000 in equity right off the bat. And then what I would wait for is the property every year to appreciate in value. And one thing I know about real estate, if it's in the right location where people have a desire to live, it will go up in value. And in the area I live in, they typically will go up in value anywhere between 4 and 6% on a normal basis. Now, the last couple of years since the pandemic, things have gotten out of control with real estate. But I'm not, if you throw those couple of years out, 2020 to 2022, you throw that out, and a normal appreciation in a normal neighborhood is normally about 4% a year. So that's what I hold the properties for. And I would hold my properties 5, 10, 15 years, getting that rental income, right? Getting my cash on cash return, and then waiting for that capital appreciation to kick in. And really, the capital appreciation is how I really grew my net worth from 0 to 7 figures, is by buying properties in desirable neighborhoods and just holding those properties. Over time, they just continued to go up in value. And every time they went up in value, my net worth increased. And that's how I was able to get to that 7-figure net worth. So cash flow, capital appreciation, in my opinion, are the two most important things when you're buying investment real estate, especially 1 to 4 family dwellings, right? Residential dwellings. Those are the most desirable in my opinion. And that's what I built my wealth on, and you guys probably should think about building your wealth on those as well. Commercial real estate is a whole nother animal. We'll have to tackle that in another video. But I just wanted to give you guys some insight to what I did in real estate. I wasn't no expert in real estate, guys. I would hire me a real estate agent that helped me with a lot of this stuff. But once I learned it, I knew it. You know, once I bought that first property, I knew how to buy the next 8. It was just that, rinse and repeat. And you can do the same thing. So don't complicate it. The main things are, identify where you want to buy the property at. And then once you identify it, do your cash flow analysis, right? And determine if it's going to throw off the type of profit you want for the money that you're going to be investing in it. And then if it's in a desirable area, figure out what the capital appreciation is going to be each year. And you can go to public record, wherever that house is, in the county that house is in, and it will give you some indication of what the property has done historically from an appreciation standpoint. Also, as I mentioned earlier, websites like Zillow, Redfin, Trula, Realtor.com, all of those places will give you historical property values on that property. So just use those free resources to help you determine if the capital appreciation historically is what you're looking for, because it'll predict what the property will do in the future. Drop me some comments down in the comment box and let me know what you think about investing in 1 to 4 family residential properties to build net worth. Get yourself some cash flow while you wait, and then get yourself to financial freedom using real estate. What do you think about that? Do you believe that's something that would work for you? If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing, share the video, smash the like button. Thoughts become things. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. And I'm going to catch you on the next video. Peace. If you want up to 12 free stocks, Webull is going to give you up to 12 free stocks when you open a new Webull brokerage account. Put any amount of money in that brokerage account. They're going to give you up to 12 free stocks for just trying out their brokerage app. There's a link down in the description box of the video. Go click on that Webull link. Open up your new brokerage account today. Go get that free stock. Go get that free money. Today's video is sponsored by my company, RF Financial Consulting. And in my company, I work with individuals just like you through financial mentoring and coaching sessions. And in those 1-hour sessions, we talk about strategies to help you get to your financial freedom, whether it be through real estate investing, stock market investing, creating additional streams of income, credit card arbitrage, or starting and growing a business. If that's something that you might be interested in, there's an email address in the description box of the video. Send me an email and let's discuss if I'm the right fit for you.